Back at it with the Sprinter van, replacing my climate control module and removing some air conditioning components. After puzzling out that my climate control module was indeed damaged, I reached out to a fellow I know with lots of used parts and bought a replacement. Putting the module back in is a relatively simple task, but I found I had another issue. The cables that connect to the center knob, which directs the airflow, weren't sliding inside their housings very well, and hence the center knob wasn't spinning freely as it should. Fortunately, I'd read a post online where someone had taken bicycle chain lube and gotten it down inside the housings. Being a cyclist, I just grabbed a bottle of chain lube I had lying around. I disconnected one wiring harness so I could spin the module 90 degrees, so the cable housings ended up pointing up, dripped some lube in the top so gravity could do its work, and that did the trick. Now it's time to remove the rear air conditioning components that are mounted under the van that these hoses route to. There's a condenser and what I'm pretty sure is a pump. Getting these units out was relatively simple, just a few bolts here and there. I did lose count of how many zip ties I had to clip. And it's all out! Next up is getting the AC compressor out. This is a relatively simple job too, but it's still kind of involved. 4 bolts holding the compressor to that plate, that bolt above. Holding that plate, I've got to take off the tensioner, and that belt, and that other bolt, get that plate out. And that's out. What I'm left with is this funky double compressor mounting plate. You can see the stock compressor above. I was going to try taking this out, but I think I'm going to keep it. This right here is my power steering pressure hose. And this spot right here is where it's been rubbing on that mounting plate, and it's worn a hole in it. I had a mechanic friend of mine point this out to me, fortunately, and I got that straightened out with a new hose, and all's good. Next up is dealing with the electrical connections. There's a whole mess of electric fuses and wiring under the driver's seat, so we had to pull all that up. And a good friend of mine, who knows more about this stuff, took care of that for me. A few weeks ago, I bought a used Dometic CFX75 dual-zone fridge-freezer combo from a woman a few miles away from me. Quite the lucky find. Unfortunately, it nearly immediately began erroring. I was super fortunate that this woman still had her purchase information. The unit was still under warranty, so I ended up getting a brand new unit out of it. These fridges are pretty nice. Both zones have a fair bit of room, and you can set the temperature on each side independently. So you can have one big fridge or one big freezer if you want. I think I'll test this out with some beer. More specifically, this beer. A pale ale brewed with several New Zealand hops from Cellar West that I helped can a few days prior.